Hey everybody, so I'm at home for a couple days and my microphone on my laptop quit working, so I'm doing this on my iPad, so kind of bear with me here, but I want to go over what your responsibility is for today. Let me go ahead and switch my screens here. So I want to talk about what needs to get done. Please be nice to whoever is the sub in the room. Okay, it's really hard to get subs in there, so please be very nice to them, him or her, whoever might be there. Anyway, if you're in third block, your graded notebooks, I believe, are next to the window. If you are in fourth block, I believe your graded notebooks are in the back of the room on that table. You will eventually need your glue sticks, so make sure you choose the correct tub. It either has a 2, 3, or 4 on it. And just make sure everything gets put back when you're done using it, if possible. I would really appreciate it. But anyway, the very first thing you're going to do after you get your notebook, let me just say this. Some of you, if you noticed, on that graphic organizer that I had you do on the characteristics of life, those 8 characteristics of life. I'm sorry, not graphic organisms organizer. Some of you didn't do that, and so you got a really low score. So sometime this week, before Friday, if you want to get that done, go ahead. Now, I put some marks on it because there wasn't any information there. Get this completed by Friday, and I will rescore this. Now, you only get half credit, but hey, half credit is better than 0. Okay, so I don't know why you didn't get it done the first time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But get this done by Friday, and you'll get half credit. I'm not going to go back and give you another opportunity for that. So this is your chance to get that finished. All right, next thing. The sub is has a sheet that looks like this. Let me find it here. This one here. I already rewrote it. I wrote on it here. Let me go over this again. Okay, delete. So, and this will be cut in 2, so you only have half a sheet here. But when I was grading your Characteristics of Life worksheet, some of you were still a little confused between what a stimulus or a stimuli is and homeostasis. So I gave you a definition there, and then some statements that would go with that definition. So, for example, if it's a stimuli, these statements would be examples of a stimulus and the reaction to that stimulus. And homeostasis, these are statements that would tell us that we're dealing with an internal environment that has to stay stable inside our body. So I want you to read through those, and then I want you to answer this question. And you are going to glue this sheet into your notebook, and then answer this question. And then on Friday, we'll go over that together and make sure you're on the right track. So that's the first thing I'm going to have you do. Very short and simple. The next thing we're going to do, we need to finish up the animal cell color book sheet. Okay, so you're going to grab that, and I believe we left off on over here on the side. We talked about the nucleus and how it is it controls all the cell's activity. And we didn't color in the nucleus because it includes nuclear pores, nuclear membrane, DNA, and nucleolus. And third block and fourth block, I can't remember exactly where we were at. But the nuclear pores, if I choose a color here, and I make this bigger, the nuclear pores are all these little circles here, these openings. So I want you to choose a color. Make sure you get that filled in there. And then the function, go up here. The function is are just openings that allow materials to go in and out. So I need to get a drink of water. Okay. Then we have the nuclear membrane. So if I choose a different color, the nuclear membrane is this right here. All this in between the pores. In between the pores here. And the nuclear membrane just surrounds the nucleus. That's all we have here. Surrounds the nucleus. Then we have DNA. Now, there's another word for this. DNA can take two different forms. Excuse me. So this is our DNA here. This little squiggly lines. I am so sorry, excuse me. And another word for that is chromatin. Oh my God. Chromatin. And DNA contains our genetic information. I'm so sorry about the coughing. I'm so sorry. Just turn your volume down if you need to. All right. Then we have our, excuse me, pick a color. Nucleolus. This is the center section right here. Okay, nucleolus. Nucleolus actually creates ribosomes. Okay, it makes the ribosomes. All right. Then we have, so that's that. All those four make up the nucleus. So then, if we move down, we have the rough endoplasmic reticulum. But let's do the let's do the ribosomes first. Number 17. Ribosomes are all these tiny little dots. Even the ones in the cytoplasm here, the cytosol. Now, I don't expect you to spend time in coloring all these dots. You know, it takes up a lot of time. You might just want to do one little section. You should maybe do the ones out here that we have. Those are the ribosomes. And the ribosomes are, they make proteins. Okay, they're the protein factories. So now if we go back to the rough ER, number 16, that is all this section right here. That's all of this. Okay, this is our rough ER, all of this here. Right there. And its job, first of all, it's attached to the nucleus. It's called rough ER because it has ribosomes attached. And because it has ribosomes attached, its other jobs is it also makes proteins. Makes our proteins. All right. Moving up here. Golgi body. Number 18. This is the Golgi body here. These kind of look like maybe a stack of pancakes. What this does, this takes the proteins from the rough ER And it's going to remodify, repackage, and distribute these proteins to other parts of the cell. So I'm going to say, and then modifies the protein. So it's going to kind of change them based on what the cell needs. Packages it. And then ships it to other parts of the cell. And so when it says a Golgi vesicle over here, I kind of covered it up. Let me get a different color here. This Golgi vesicle right here, this green that I'm coloring in here, it's like they bud off of the Golgi, and this is where those modified proteins are being stored. And then those move off of the Golgi body and they move to other parts of the cell using whatever proteins the cell needs. Now, I can't remember, I think fourth block, I wasn't sure if we got to the cytoskeleton. So let me just talk about that. The cytoskeleton are these objects right here. There's one there, there's one here, there's one there. I think there's some up here. There's one here. And so on. So the cytoskeleton gives support to the cell, kind of like a skeleton. And there's three types here. We have the microtubules, microfilaments, and intermediate filaments. Okay. So I think that takes us, for with our animal cell. And so you guys know where my little baskets are, my little tubs. I have the tape in it. You can tape this into your notebook, kind of like what you did to with the virus foldable. Tape the one edge, fold it over a couple times. But if you have any problems, get a hold of me. I'll remind. I should be available during the daytime if you have any questions or I'm missing something. So that's the second thing I'm going to do is finish up the animal cell foldable. Again, if you were absent, these are on the table. I left them out just in case I happen to be gone. There's 3 sheets. Just have somebody help you out. You can copy the information from somebody else. Not a big deal because these are just notes. And then the other thing I'm going to have you do is I'm not there to hand back that first worksheet on characteristics of life. But when you're done with the animal cell, ask the sub for this. Let me see. It's going to look like this. It's very similar to that first one that I gave you. Go ahead and try this one again. And then just hang on to it until I get back. Or you can give it to the sub if you get done with it. But then I'll score the second one, and I'll give you the better of the 2 scores. Again, some of you scored kind of low on that first one. I think I have those scores in Aspen. You can double check. But work on this one. And then turn it in and I'll score, and I'll give you the better score of both of those. And we can go back when I get back and I'll figure out what some issues might be with your struggling with some of these. So that's for Monday. All right. I will check in with you on Tuesday to see how things went. Again, please contact me through Remind if you're having any issues. And I hope you have an awesome day.